We're marching today to dramatize to the nation, dramatize to the world.
The world has lost a civil rights icon.
We can change America, and in changing America, we can change the world.
Congressman John Lewis has died at the age of 80. The son of sharecroppers, he dedicated his life to fighting for equality. In the 60s, helping to organize the famous marches in Selma and Washington. To our present day, pushing for change in Congress and inspiring a new generation.
On one hand, we made a lot of progress. We've come distant, but we're not there yet.
The civil rights titan died at his home yesterday after a 6-month battle with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
But his legacy will live on. The congressman played a key role in the civil rights movement for decades, challenging segregation, discrimination, and injustice in the Deep South. In 1963, he helped organize the March on Washington alongside Martin Luther King Jr.
He later organized the marches from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, and is best known for leading 600 protesters in the 1965 Bloody Sunday March across the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
As he got older, he took his fight for social justice to Congress. The Atlanta Democrat won his U.S. House seat in 1986 and served for more than 3 decades. We have team coverage on his lasting legacy, beginning with Chris Pallone.
In the midst of Congressman John Lewis's Georgia district, people have been showing up all day to pay respect and leave tributes to the man often called the conscience of the Congress. Lewis served the people of Atlanta for 33 years, but was on the national stage for much longer than that, emerging as one of the nation's top civil rights leaders in his early 20s, alongside the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
Dad certainly admired his energy, his tenacity, and he admired Dad's leadership.
Martin Luther King III said in fighting for voting rights, Lewis leaves behind an enduring legacy.
We are seeing more young people engaged in voting. He's the one individual that personified more than anyone the importance of voting.
Fellow civil rights leader and former Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young said Lewis's death is not a tragedy because his impact lives on.
Just as Martin Luther King is still with us today, more than 50 years after his death, I think we will never forget the role that John Lewis played in helping this nation live out the true meaning of its creeds.
Online, former President Barack Obama said of Lewis, he loved this country so much he risked his life and blood so it might live up to its promise. Obama's Vice President Joe Biden called Lewis a one-of-a-kind moral compass who always knew where to point us and which direction to march. Saturday afternoon, President Donald Trump tweeted he was saddened to hear the news of civil rights hero John Lewis passing.
He was the field commander. He was the soldier walking point.
Historian John Meacham, currently working on a book about Lewis's life and legacy, called him a transcendent figure.
He led the country to a fuller recognition, if not a final reckoning, of our most serious national sins.
Gone at 80, but John Lewis's march for justice continues on. Chris Pallone, Local 4.
And tonight, his life is being remembered by the Metro Detroiters who fought alongside him.
Larry Spruill is live with more on this. Larry, 2 of the people who knew and worked with John Lewis, Reverend Wendell Anthony, president of the Detroit branch of the NAACP, and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. What are their thoughts today as they reflect on their longtime friendship?
Well, Steve and Sandra, they both call him a giant in his own way for what he did during the civil rights movement. And tonight, many across the country are honoring him and remembering him from D.C., Atlanta, and Detroit. Many call Congressman John Lewis a lion of the civil rights movement. He simply had the fight inside of him. That passion would not let him stop pushing for change. Detroit NAACP President Wendell Anthony says his resume was incredible.
The thing about John Lewis, and I hear the term icon a lot, he was more than an icon. He was a living legend, a living testimony of grace, kindness, and humility. First of all, if you knew John Lewis, you knew somebody who was kind, who was not stuck on himself, who in spite of all of the issues and journeys and trials that he had been on, all the people that he'd met all over the world, he remained a humble person.
Lewis, the youngest and last survivor of the Big Six civil rights activists, some say one of his greatest accomplishments, leading some 600 protesters in the Bloody Sunday March across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma. Lewis started serving in Congress in 1986, where he was well respected, no matter the party affiliation. But in December 2019, Lewis announced he was diagnosed with advanced pancreatic cancer, calling it the fight of his life. He died Friday night. Many across the country showing their respect, from Washington, D.C. to Detroit. Congresswoman Debbie Dingell says she has several memories of Lewis, from when he delivered a eulogy at her husband John Dingell's funeral to him providing her lifelong lessons.
John Lewis is truly one of the most courageous men I know, and yet he kept that. He would say, go get in trouble, but good trouble. He never believed in violence. He believed in love. He would always teach me not to hate.
Although his journey may be finished, Mr. Lewis, this is your time to rest. You, sir, have fought the good fight. And John Lewis's wife died in 2012. They leave behind one son, and right now their family is planning his funeral arrangements. A job well done, Mr. Lewis. A job well done. We're live in downtown Detroit tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.